The Treasurer has the call.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. This is coal. Don't be afraid. Don't be scared.
The Treasurer knows the rule on props.
It's coal. It was dug up.
I'm wondering how to commune with you, Cole. You've existed for millions of years and occupy deep time. Are we out of phase? Does my life and death occur so briefly to you that we're unable to converse? I hope we can use this dialogue between us as an attempt to bridge our differences, because I want to explore your history as a non-human entity and to contextualise your involvement with humans. Perhaps to start, we can go back to your roots. You were once part of a wetland ecosystem as living plant material. Probably you were predominantly dicroidium, an early seed fern with forked leaves, as well as club mosses, ginkgos, ferns and conifers such as pines. Acknowledging your composition is important for establishing understanding and respect. The Earth looked different while you were photosynthesizing, with one terrestrial supercontinent. It has moved, but you have stayed in place in your local environment, joining with others in your shallow wetlands, washed sluggishly underwater into earthy depressions, and slowly covered by more plant species, each new layer reflecting slight evolutionary changes. What was once on the surface became buried deep within the earth, transmuted from living ecosystem to geologic layer. And as you transformed, from plants to peat to sub-bituminous coal, the geographic conditions around you changed. Continents separated, plates folded, seabeds rose and fell, climates adjusted. While your descendants evolved, the physical pressure on you only increased as sediments accumulated above you, preventing your erosion and compressing you down. Just as you lost your plant-like form to the pressures of sediment, humans grew to lose sight of your individuality and your role in history. Michael Marder suggests that the bewildering diversity of vegetation is reduced, at bottom, to the conceptual unity plant, in a signature gesture of metaphysical violence seeking to eliminate differences. Not only did we lose your identity as plants among plants, but also your plant to rock evolution, and any memory of your pre-transformation self. You became to us not rock at all, but in the blink of a geologic eye, you were fuel and electricity and the independence of the state. Do you mourn your lost self? Or are you blind to us and move forward to the next blink when you will mean and be something new? Perhaps you relish the change, the chance to become more than material, to travel abstracted through thought and physical space. You're addressed in human law and argued over in media, dug up to see the sun once more and carried vast distances across land much faster than your usual tectonic amble. Do you mourn your lost home? Or do you enjoy your travels and bask in your power? Am I asking you for these emotive responses in a vain attempt to create shared experience, to find similarities between you and I that can bridge our compositional differences? But perhaps our agency is too different for me to comprehend you in full. You are more than human that evades anthropomorphizing, more impenetrable even than animal species. How can you mourn if you are already dead, if you never had thoughts? We could speculate that your agency lies not in any idea of life, nor even in your history as an object, but, as Jane Bennett suggests, in instead a vibratory efflorescence that persists before and after any arrangement in space, the peculiar motility of intensity. If your materialities are incompatible with our human timeframes, perhaps we can come together through our shared experiences of being more than bounded, contained beings. For Bennett, your efficacy or agency always depends on the collaboration, cooperation, or interactive interference of many bodies or forces. I want to ask you about your experience as part of a complex system, whether your identity is compromised or enhanced within it. Of course, you have always been within an assemblage, trapped within earthen's stratum, contributing to the structure of the earth. Now, however, we have constructed for you a socio-material assemblage and made you critical but invisible to our social operations. Our extraction of you from your dark bed marks our anthropocentric victory, our brute strength as a species attributable to and resulting in your removal. Catherine Yusof says that extractable matter must be both passive, awaiting extraction and possessing of properties, and able to be activated through the mastery of white men. Do you resent that your power has been co-opted for our benefit? Or perhaps you take pride in your contributions to our collective momentum. Does the energy shifting and heat of the furnace constitute your satisfaction, or simply your destruction? Is your matter conversion transcendental or incidental? Regardless of intentionality or agency, your body forms the most basic building block that has underlain and facilitated systems of development from the Industrial Revolution onwards. Your unassuming geologic self has allowed us as a species to disrupt the order of things and rewrite power in the earth itself. Perhaps it's fitting, therefore, that my true interest here lies in the wake of your destruction in situ. As you are pulled from the earth, so too are the layers of sediment history above you. Unusable and assigned only limited value, they lay heaped on the edges of the gaping pit mouth, their intermingling particles a temporal paradox. This furious digging disrupts not only earth, but water, as it flows or sits on the surface and underground. As a species, we have declared ourselves rulers of earth. But water challenges us. We release particulates and noise into the breeze and control vegetation through species and positioning. At the scale of the pit and its immediate surroundings, however, do humans act as a species, or do our efforts divide us? Equally, do we see each of these site-based interactions with the same eyes, or experience them with the same bodies? At the scale of the site, bodies, human and otherwise, and their interactions are crucial. Just like you, Cole, each bounded by the rigidity of scientific definition, but interlinked through use and movement and social lives.